there's still going to be moments where you pucker up big time. Everybody does, especially when you're talking about startle response. That said, we know that the Buddhist monks that were trained, the Dalai Lama sent over a bunch of Buddhist monks to be examined in a laboratory for their fear response and brain activity in general. Dr. Richard Davidson, who I met, I went to a lecture at the National Institutes of Health a number of years ago and listened to a very interesting lecture about the power of meditation to change people's ability to deal with stress. And I'm on the same path, and I've already read his work. I already knew what he was going to say, more or less. And afterwards, I got to sit down and shake his hand and talk to him a little bit about this stuff. He found that the monks would, especially the really experienced ones, they didn't have a startle response. That, the person that sneaks up behind you with the air horn, that kind of, everybody has that, or so we thought. And this is suggesting that through mind training programs, through repetitively going back into the state of non-attachment and full awareness, we can alter the effects of our world on us. And that's cool. That gives hope, that our habits of instinctual responses. I mean, I think our instincts are a habit set. It was taught to us by our genes, or however you want to, sort of frame that in your mind. The fight, flight, and freeze instincts that unicellular organisms, they do the same kind of things. I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna protect myself. I'm gonna attack back. And it'll select that option. If we want to graduate beyond single cellular intelligence, stimulus and response, we got to make a little room for our brain to work, and that requires not just the better breathing, which of course Buddhist monks are pretty good at breathing, in terms of awareness and efficiency, but they also are very good at letting go of thought, of not identifying with thought, taking that idea of, it's not who you are, it's what you did. None of it is who you are from that perspective. It's all just a drama that's playing out. And I'm just, there is the observer. It's not even I am the observer. There is observation of this life called Brian, called Steve, called, anybody. It's the observation from the outside that I think lifts up the drama and the certain conclusion that you must defend, you must attack, you must feel bad about yourself, you must feel good about yourself. And it's all of it. I think it's a way that we tend to draw ourselves back into the ego state. That makes the whole big thing, sort of being tied to the tail of the dragon, getting dragged around, instead of feeling that subtle separateness of the observer, where ultimate compassion can flow back in. This psychology of adventure. I mean, any skydiver, any climber, kayaker, cave scuba diver, there is a philosophical side to you. Every one of you wouldn't do this stuff if there wasn't a philosophical meaning behind it. There's an introspective experience, and there's, sort of just observing, wow, I'm a happier dude when I go water skiing or whatever it is, I feel better about myself. I feel better in my body. I feel better about my life. Why? That's the doorway. I'm not going to immediately answer that. I think it's fair, because it's individual, it's conditional, it changes moment to moment. But man, if you ask that question, why do I feel better when I do these certain things? I think it leads towards, an affinity to want to do it more, but more importantly, to get to the underlying aspect of it. What is it that joins these experiences? I mean, it doesn't all have to be physical risks, but it works. It does work to scare the shit out of yourself and put yourself in an experience of wow, of grandeur. Holy crap! Look where my skills got me. This is awesome. But there's more to it. There's something underneath it. This allowance of worthiness, this allowance of not ignoring, but letting go of all the other calls to my attention so that I can be in this moment. Because if I don't focus on this moment, I'm going to die a horrible death. Awesome. It draws me back away from TikTok and the thumb world. That's what I call that, the thumb world. It's the most closed thing. If we were a flower, a human being texting is a closed flower. Like energetically, in so many ways. I think that we need to just look at all these great exercises that do the opposite. That when you're blossoming, as you rappel off of a cliff, you're blossoming into this present moment. It's the mind saying, yes, I approve of this message. I approve of this activity. I approve of the role that I'm playing as I'm helping somebody tie their figure 8 knot before they climb. I approve of me checking your pin as we go to the plane. I approve of the smile that we exchange in the door before jumping out. I agree with everything we're doing. I agree that this is what I intended for my life. Bring it on, That's the why, and that's sort of the beginning of that conversation within anybody that points their mind in that direction. What do you love about adventure? What do you dig about these experiences that, it could kill you, kills people? All of these things do, and so does the couch. So does the couch probably kills a lot more people than parachutes do.
And much slower.
It's slow and agonizing, and there's lots of suffering mindset that leads there, because you're not being that person on the edge of the cliff. You're not being the person that you came in to be, the fearless adventurer. And I think that there's this rust of the soul that occurs when we're not being our highest self. Because of our aversion to physical pain. I mean, got to tell you, I hiked 6 miles through the mountains a couple days ago. My legs still hurt. I'm glad. I'm glad that I got off the couch.
But if you don't follow your path, you know what I mean? The one that feels right in your gut, what are you?
It's fine building jumbo planes or taking a ride on a cosmic train, a switch on summer from a slot machine. Yes, get what you want to if you want, 'cause you can get anything. We've come a long way, we're changing day to day. But tell me, where do the children play? Well, you roll on roads over fresh green grass for your lorry loads, petrol gas, and you make them long and you make them tough, but they just go on and on. It seems that you can't get on. I know we've come a long way,
As long as you're having fun, well, do everything.
One of the things I've learned about paragliding is that when the wind is strong and you're having that gut feeling like I should fly, keep the paraglider in the bag. And in my case, I think it's safer to keep not only the paraglider in the bag, but the paraglider pilot inside the bag. That way, there's no chance that anybody's going to do any flying until the wind's right.